Hello everybody! I hope you guys all had a really great week. Thank you so much for joining me today to make some art. Today we're gonna do a little project I'm calling Precious Flowers. So we're gonna make our own kind of clay out of some things you can find in your house. So today, we're gonna get a little bit messy. So I would suggest putting down some paper or some newspaper before you start. And we're gonna need a bowl to mix in, a measuring cup and a 1/4 cup measuring cup, some conditioner, and be sure to ask the adult in your house if you can use it, because we're gonna need a 1/4 cup to about a cup of it, and then cornstarch. If you don't have cornstarch, I've also done this with potato starch and tapioca flour. It's just like a really fine powder. So some other things you can use are food dye if you want your clay to have a color besides white. But also remember, if your conditioner is a color, like I have this pink conditioner, it's gonna change the color of your clay, okay? So before we start, let's do a little deep breathing and a stretch so we can be really focused and ready to put all of our attention into our artwork, okay? So everybody take a deep breath in and let it go. Let's do that one more time. A deep breath in and let it go. That felt great. Now let's roll our shoulders back. And can we roll them forward? And let's stretch out our arms. Oh yeah, and our fingers. Okay, are you feeling focused and ready to go? I hope so. So, like I said, we're gonna get a little bit messy. First things first, we're gonna take our measuring cup and use our cornstarch. Whoa. I should have opened this first. Okay. And we're just going to measure out a cup of that cornstarch here, put it in our bowl. Whoop. Already making a mess. Okay, you might want to keep a little bit extra in your cup for your hands and for rolling out later, okay? So let's put this to the side. Next, we're going to take our conditioner. And be sure to work with a conditioner that you like the smell of, because I used this really cheap strawberry conditioner earlier and I hated the smell so much. So and it doesn't matter what kind of conditioner it can be. It could be the cheapest stuff that you can find. But remember to ask the adult, just in case they only have a little bit of conditioner. You should make sure it's okay you use it. So we're gonna start with a 1/4 cup at a time. And I'm probably gonna have to use 2 different kinds of conditioners because it looks like I just have this 1/4 cup here. Okay. So, go ahead and then dump that into your bowl with the cornstarch. And we're gonna start mixing. And what I like about this is that cornstarch is so nice and soft, it feels really good on your hands. Now it looks like we should mix until we can get a full ball to form, and this is still really broken apart, so I'm gonna need another thing of conditioner. So I'm gonna use my other conditioner. And that's what I would say also when I was playing around with this to figure out how much conditioner to use. It actually depends on your kind of conditioner, because a thinner conditioner you're gonna need less conditioner than if you have like a really thick conditioner. So that's why we're just doing a little bit at a time instead of putting in a whole cup at once. This is the stinky strawberry stuff. So as you can see, I'm getting really messy already here. We're just mixing it together until we can get a ball, which that might be enough. So it could take anywhere from a quarter cup of your conditioner to a full cup of your conditioner to get your clay to come together. Now what I like about this as opposed to maybe your traditional salt flour clay that people make at home is that this just needs time to dry. You don't have to put it in the oven or anything like that. Okay, so you can see it's making a nice sticky ball. And it's pretty sticky. It's pretty messy, so don't be afraid to get in there and make a big mess at all. Now, you don't have to make flowers. This was just what I found was easier to do. I found like this clay was a little bit hard to keep tall shapes, but you can make whatever you want. It's your artwork and it should look like your artwork. This is just a nice idea. You know, everybody likes to get flowers, so maybe you could make some pretty flowers for somebody that you love. So once we have our clay all coming together in a ball to make these flowers, let's see, I'm gonna make like a rectangular flat shape. And this is again where you might want to put a little bit of cornstarch down on your surface so it doesn't get stuck. So, but the more cornstarch you add, the more brittle the clay becomes. It falls apart a little bit easier. So, I'm going to take this and, you know what? Hold on one second. I think I need something to cut it with. Okay, give me 1 second, peoples. Okay, I got this popsicle stick, but a butter knife will work too. I'm just going to put a little bit more conditioner here on the side in case it gets too brittle, so I can add back in the moisture. So you'll be able to tell. It'll be a good consistency, not too slimy and not falling apart. It's not an exact science. It's more of a work in progress, but figuring out what the best texture is. So I will say that even though you don't have to put this in the oven for it to dry, it does take at least a full day to dry. But it definitely depends on where you live. Like here in Seattle, it's pretty damp outside a lot of the time, especially in the fall. And so it might take more like 2 days to dry. Now, if you wanted to put food coloring in, or maybe you have some gel or something that you want to put in there, you could put it in when you put in the conditioner, and then you'll have a colored clay to work with and not just a white clay. Okay, so as you can see, I cut out a little strip here. Woo! And it's falling apart a little bit, so I'm going to put my clay to the side here. So once you have a nice long rectangle, then we're going to gently roll it into itself to make this flower shape. And you can do, again, you can do whatever you want. My mom loves flowers, so it's generally the first thing I think of. And this is a pretty easy thing to do, so we can get this nice form. See, I rolled it up and I got one little bud, so I'm going to put that down. There we go. And you can play with it and open up the petals a little bit. Don't get frustrated if it gets sticky or if it's not turning out the way you want it to. Because you just got to practice and try again. We made enough to do a couple so we can put them together as a bouquet. So again, I'm going to make a little flat, long, rectangular. And then roll it up. Now if you can roll it so it's a perfect, what did I say? It's the same size on each side. Or if you roll it so it's more pinched on one side, it will make the bloom look like it's opening up a little bit. Like that. So now I'm going to smush these two together. Well, maybe I'll keep them separate right now and then organize them after I'm done. You don't have to put them together. You could have them just as individual flowers. And again, if you don't want to make a flower, you could make any kind of thing you want. You could do like an animal. You could do a puppy. You could make a monster. It's really, as long as the adult in your house says it's okay, you can make as much of this clay as you want and play around for as long as you want with it, huh? Okay, so again, whoa, oh, that piece is broken. And you can make the rectangles wider or narrower or longer. You just play around with it and see how you want your flowers to look. Okay. Go. I've got 3 flower buds now. Good enough probably to do 2 or 3 more here. It's getting a little bit crumbly, so I'm going to put a little bit more of that conditioner on my fingers and rub it in there. Rub it in there good. I'm going to get in my jumpsuit all dirty. Good thing I have a special outfit to wear when I make my artwork, huh? And I think you could do is you could roll it first like a little wormy tube and then flatten it out with your fingers. Okay. So I'm just rolling that up. Here we go. Now, I like to make things in odd numbers, and right now I have 4 rosebuds, so I'm going to make 1 more big one. So I'm rolling it up and flattening it out. Okay, and then rolling it together. Ba-ba! So now I'm going to smush my flowers together really gently. And if you can, you should do this part on the surface where it's going to dry. Just because you don't want to move it too much, because as it dries it gets really fragile, like it will break easily. I'll put this one right in the middle there. Okay. Now you could take a fork and put some texture on here if you want it. You could scratch some marks all over it, or you can try to make it as smooth as possible. Okay, let's see if I can pick this up and show you. There we go. So this is what my flower looks like right now. It's a little bit lumpy. going to use my popsicle stick, or you know, you could use a butter knife or a pencil if you're not happy with how your petals are looking. But I wouldn't mess with it too much because then it might just fall apart. So just make sure it's all nice and smushed in a couple places if you want to make a bouquet. Now at this point, you can decide to stick some things in it, like maybe you have some beads or broken earrings or confetti. Here I use some, it's not really confetti, it's kind of confetti, and broken earring pieces to put in the center so it looked like there was a little bit of pollen in the center there. Oops, I already broke it. It's very delicate. On these ones, I put little rhinestones in the center, and then I waited for it to dry all the way before I put the paint on. Like I said before, if you want it to be colored, a good way to do it is to use food coloring when you're mixing it together. When you use paint afterwards, because the paint's wet, it kind of creates this interesting texture because it's picking up the actual clay as you're putting it on. But I don't mind that. I think it looks really cool with that texture in there. So it's totally up to you. Or again, it looks really pretty when it just dries and it's white. So now that you got your flower bouquet all put together, I'm going to put some things in it so it looks a little bit more fun. I have these really cool straight pins that have colorful knobs on the end, so I'm going to put these right here. Maybe I'll do 3 in this one. And I'll do 1 here. 1 there. Go. So again, you can leave it plain if you want, or you can decorate it as much as you want. Just be careful because it's pretty delicate. And try to be creating on the space or the surface that you're gonna let it dry on. Like maybe if you have a piece of cardboard that you can be building it on, that would be good too. Okay. There. Well, I think this looks really nice. I'm going to try to get this off gently so I can show you. Okay, so here's my bouquet. La la la! It's kind of lumpy grits right now. It's a little bit floppy, but I'm going to leave it over here and let it dry for a day or two, and then give it to somebody to brighten their day. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this little class today on how to make your own clay from home. I think it's really cool how much cool art things we can make with just stuff that's lying around our house. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out and email me. All my information with my email, my Instagram, and the snail mail is all under information on my YouTube channel. If you guys like this video, please subscribe and share with your friends. It really makes a big difference in helping me share this art with all of you guys. So thank you so much for making art with me today, and I will see you guys next week, okay? Thank you. Bye.